What, Spook? Oh, hello there, friend and family. Glad to see you again here on August 11th. And we got the kitty crew at my feet. Like always, there's Spooky, Cleo, and Speedy. And that, of course, they're waiting on chow because the sun's starting to go down and it's getting about their feed time. But that wasn't the reason I came out to sit on the front porch with y'all. Came out here to do something a little bit different today. And that something different is, many of y'all may not know, only my closest friends do. Back in the day, a long time ago, old Mr. Tom dabbled in being an author. Oh yeah, he did. And that was when my children were just wee little things. Saying 2, 3, 4, and 5 years old. And I've always done a lot of writing in my profession as a professional engineer, but that was technical writing. But then, for my children, which really love stories, once upon a time. And I'd read to them every night when I was home. Sometimes I wouldn't be, because I'd be off on business trips and whatever. But when I was, we'd have story time, Cat and Hat, all kinds of others, Mother Goose, Bullwinkle, and all kinds of things. But then I picked up writing short stories as a way to, I guess, stress relief. And in another way, because my daughter really enjoyed reading and enjoyed stories. And she's been that way all her life. Now, my son enjoyed them when he was little, but later on, he was not so much of a reader. But Ashley, if she could be a librarian, she would be. And she has actually a degree in English, where she could be if she wanted to be. So I picked up writing. And I wrote many short stories. They're not necessarily children's stories. Some stories were about real life events that I had experienced, seen, and were part of my life, as were they of my children's. And that. So, I thought I'd share one of those tonight with you as the sun's going down. You can see it's getting darker. And that, tonight, I'm going to share one with you. And the title is The Dragon and Me. Now, I want you to understand, all the way through my children's childhood, I've always encouraged them to have an imagination. And before some of you poo-poo all on that idea, well, I ain't going to lie to my children and tell them Santa Claus is this or that because he ain't real or what have you. Do you understand that without imagination, you and I, right now, would not even be here talking? No, we wouldn't be. Because without imagination, none of the things that we now currently have or will have would have ever came to be. I want you to think about that for a moment. For like I said, you poo-poo on the idea of imagination. I know it seems to be pretty popular with the youngins these days. So let me share a story with you that I wrote way back in the late 80s. Okay? And I wrote it specifically for my daughter. And it's about a real life event. As silly as you might think. And all my stories that I wrote, I read to her, shared with her, and the original copies I gave her. And all her life, up till 4 years ago, she kept those original copies all folded up in her purse wherever she went. didn't matter in the world until they got so fragile, so creased, and so that they were just going to fall apart, that she couldn't even really open them anymore. Yeah. And then she put them up, and she asked me to see if I could find the originals again and copy them for her, and I did. But this is one of them. It's a true life story, whether you wish to believe it or not. And I'm going to share it with you while you look out upon the day as the sun's setting and the day is about to subside. So listen up. And if you'd like to hear more of these after you've listened to this, you let me know in the comments. Okay? Like I said, the title is The Dragon in Me. Now, I actually submitted this story along with many that I wrote, short stories, and several won awards. So I'm going to read this. Once a young lad, so long ago, sat beside the dragon. He posed this question to the beast. Only he and a few could see, or knew still existed, to be. So he said, "Dragon, am I a part of you, or you a part of me?" The wise old dragon drew the young boy close, wrapped a smooth wing around the tender figure of the man to be. With a smile and a gleam of his ancient eyes, he spoke. "I've been you before. You were you, as you were of me, as we were both before the time and this place to be. Ah, young one, you and I are of all things, and they of us. So we are joined with the all. Distances and time, a mere measurement of a man. For us it is. We travel and exist apart from the ideas of man. Where nature still rules endlessly, and the all. It is what it was and shall evermore be. We are the desires, the thoughts, and the dreams that mortals just dare to dream. This is what we be," said the dragon to the young man. The young man looked as if to understand, but at this time it was just words to remember. Later, ever so much later, this and much more of the dragon would become the man that was yet to be. Yes, the dragon lives as the man lives, both a part of the other, still to this day. When the night air grows still, and the only sounds are peace, and nature abounds, the dragon and the man do fly once more, to places only some will ever venture for. For yes, magic is in the belief, and in us all, as the dragon and the man were in each other and stood tall. For the dragon was there to teach me to see beyond the beliefs of the time and politics of man. He taught to me the magic found only with the eyes of a child. He helped me master the wisdom of the stone, the gentle healing of the waters, and the sacred mystery of the earth. He stood beside me in battle and fought on distant lands in long past times. He cared for the boy and then for the man over time. My constant companion, an old sage is he, for he is with me wherever I be. As I grew up into a man, the dragon seemed to come not so often as in the past. As I entered middle age, I hardly noticed his loss, for I had taken far too much time to gain things of wealth and of man, laid to rest the ways taught in my youth. I no longer heard the song of the wind, the gentle laughter of the waters, or feel the warm touch of the land. My eyes no longer saw the magic beyond this time. Yes, indeed, the child in me had vanished, and was lost, as too was the lands I once trod when I was young, and the dragon was with me. I did not even feel the loss of the old friend in my life that once was. That would all change one night, just as the dragon had told me so long ago. For there came a night when my wee little daughter sat upon her father's lap that she loved so much, her bright youthful eyes full of innocence. She looked up at me and with a smile asked if she could talk a while. Of course, I said, please do. Then she started to tell me of her dragon, too. She spoke of the adventures and the travels she had, of the friend that kept her from being so sad, of teaching of the myths of all things that man had forgotten or cannot see. For the magic is seen better by the innocent, you see. She spoke of stories and of tales of times to be. It reminded me of a boy, and that boy was me. As she wandered in to sleep upon my knee, I remembered the old friend I had in he, the dragon that had long since gone from me. The wonder of the moment came, for you see, I had not spoken to her of my old childhood friend as I laid her to rest in her bed. The days I spent with him spun in my head. I returned to the chair to look within, to see the man that I'd grown far from, and my old friend, to see the magic I had once lost, consumed in the things that were of man, no longer able to see the simple things, or take the time to take flight upon magic wings. For I sat in one large house, filled with items of great worth and price, but all were silent and quite dead, as the man had become in his heart and in his head. I wondered as I made the long walk to my bed, how in the world my daughter could have knew of the dragon that I once knew too. As I slept, an old friend returned to the man to see if he was ready to return to that which he was to be. We spoke and traveled far to the lands once visited long ago. He showed me the times of the past and the times to be. If only I could find the magic that once was within me. When morning broke, and in the dim sunlight, a voice so small but full of delight spoke to me. For there, at the foot of our bed, was a tiny thing that had brought back so much thought. There my daughter stood, smiling so broadly as could be. Daddy, she said, did your dragon find you last night? For he came by me. I told him I think you miss him lots, and maybe he should visit a while and see if you are ready for the magic that we share and few can see. I rose and took her hand. We spent the morning speaking of the night, of the dragon and things we both had been shown, and shared with our magical friend that shared our lives. Oh, she reminded me that we should never tell the tales of he. I wondered of this, for it was true to be. So the dragon had spoke to me. Later in the years to come, with my old friend beside me still, a small wee son would sit upon my knee, and he too started to speak to me. Yes, it seems the dragon had found him too. Now I see that had I spoke of this with the kids, I would have never been sure of the dragon, or if it was just a dream or a fantasy. For the kids knew not of him from me. It was as my dragon had said it would be. Better to just wait and see. For the magic is held in the eye of faith, in the belief of the soul. One should always just let the magic grow. And so I would read that to my daughter. I bet she's have it read to her, and read it tens of thousands of times. And guess who's all here? You see here? Spooky. There's Speedy. There's Cleo. Yep. Yep. The kids may have got up in their mid-30s, and they're too old for old Papa to read to them anymore. But you can see all who was here listening to the story tonight, or this evening. Soon it will be night. Spooky. Leave Speedy alone. Cleo. But I thought that it would be great to share with y'all some of my writings. I have so many more. Some have been published. Some have won awards. That one there won a short story award, gold award. Not that it matters. That and 69 cents. At the time, would have got you a cup of coffee at McDonald's. I just thought it'd be a little bit different, pace. People been worried about old man, thinking he was a little bit down. He was too sad and gloomy, and that's why they come by the channel. The last couple of videos weren't about sadness, fear, and gloom and doom. They were about hope. Yep. And I hope you'll revisit them. Yep. And understand the true meaning and intent by them. Because they came from here to inform and to tell you. It ain't about what I have or what you have. Because I'm going to tell you what. There still are people out there that are knights in shining armors. There are still people out there that are angels. Even though may not have no wings. And I've always told y'all, I ain't no hero and I'm no saint. I damn sure ain't no angel. But each and every day, I strive to be better than yesterday. And that's all we can do. And we can keep our Father apprised of our progress, as if he don't know it already. So, until OY, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, sometimes Elrod, which was here this morning, but I didn't have the camera. He's whining like crazy. And Gracie, which is keeping an eye on the weather. She thinks we might have some storms because we got some fronts coming in from the west. See you on the next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe and God bless you. Goodbye for now. And if you like to hear more of my stories, and that I have personally written, or some others that I totally cherish, then let me know in the comments. If there's an overwhelming need, now I got more to share. But let me know what you thought. Good, bad, or indifferent. You know what? Your opinions, I appreciate and are invaluable to me as a human being. Later on. What are you doing, Spook? Oh, you on the attack? Don't attack Speedy. Come over here and attack Cleo. Speedy, we gotta work some more on that eye. I know. Oh, let's put a towel on it, hold you down, and hope I don't get a 5-hole bit in my hand. Yep. What do you say, Cleo? You good? Did you like the story? Speedy, did you like the story? Spooky. Come on, man. Somebody be a critic. Let me know how it went. Oh my. Oh, we gotta go in. Yep. I'm making food. Hang tight. I'll be back.